The unexpected morning. The room was quiet, filled with the soft sound of the city still sleeping, when the human's eyes slowly opened. He was not ready to wake up yet, but something heavy pressed down on his chest, making it hard to breathe. At first, he thought it was just a dream, some strange weight holding him inside a nightmare. But then, as his vision cleared, he saw a shadow leaning over him. The figure was not human. It was his alien roommate. The creature's tall frame was bent awkwardly, its glowing skin dimmed and trembling, and its large eyes flickered with a strange light. The human froze, his heart pounded, his mind racing to understand why his alien friend had collapsed on top of him. He had lived with this alien for weeks, maybe months, and never seen it like this. Normally, the alien carried itself with calm grace, moving like it understood everything around it. But now, it looked broken, weak and scared. The alien's body was shaking. Its skin glowed faintly in places, as if fire burned under its surface. The human whispered, "Hey, are you okay?" But no answer came. The alien's lips moved, but the words were not English. They were soft, broken whispers in a language the human had never heard before. The sound chilled him. It was not the voice of a friend asking for help. It was the sound of fear. The human slowly pushed himself up, trying to move the alien aside, but the creature collapsed again, heavier than before. The human could feel its skin. It was hot, almost burning. He had the strange thought that the alien was not sick in a normal way. Something else was happening, something dangerous. The alien opened its eyes fully for a moment. Those eyes, always bright and full of quiet humor, were now wide with pain. The human saw something new there too, panic, and maybe shame. The alien tried to push itself up, but its arms shook too much. Finally, it whispered one word in English, a single word that made the human's blood turn cold. "Run." The human blinked, confused. Run? From what? The alien did not answer. Instead, its chest glowed brighter, faint lines spreading across its body like cracks in glass. The human felt his stomach twist. He wanted to believe this was just some alien fever or illness, but deep down, he already knew. This was not sickness. This was a secret. The air around them felt heavier. A faint buzzing sound filled the room, almost too quiet to notice at first, but it grew louder every second. The human looked toward the window. For a moment, he thought he saw lights flickering in the dark sky outside, but when he blinked, they were gone. He turned back to his roommate. The alien had managed to sit up halfway, holding its chest with trembling hands. "They found me," it whispered. The human froze. His mouth went dry. "Who found you?" The alien's gaze locked onto him, and the human realized this was not the same roommate he thought he knew. All those little strange habits, the odd way it avoided certain questions, the way it never talked about its past, all of it came crashing back in this moment. This alien was hiding something, and now, whatever it was hiding had arrived. The human tried to speak, but his throat closed. For the first time since meeting his alien roommate, he felt real fear. Not fear of the alien itself, but fear of the danger it carried with it. The buzzing sound grew louder. This time, the human was sure. Something outside was moving. He walked toward the window, his hands shaking. When he pulled the curtains aside, his breath caught. A dark shape hovered in the sky. Not a plane, not a drone he had ever seen before. It was sleek, sharp, and alive with alien light. His roommate was on the floor now, whispering words too fast to understand. The human turned back. "What? It is happening. Tell me!" The alien's eyes met his, filled with regret. "I did not tell you everything. I am not safe. And now you are not safe too." The words cut deeper than any weapon. The human's heart raced. He wanted to run, to escape, but something inside held him still. His roommate was not just some alien guest anymore. This was something bigger, something that connected to the entire galaxy. The buzzing outside turned into a sharp screech. The lights grew brighter. The alien grabbed the human's arm, squeezing with surprising strength despite its weakness. "Listen," it said, voice trembling. "You have one choice. Help me." or watch everything burn. The human's breath caught. He did not move. In that single second, he knew life would never return to normal. Whatever was happening was not just about his roommate. It was about Earth itself. And it all started with an alien falling on him at dawn. Secrets revealed. The buzzing in the sky did not fade. It grew stronger, sharper, like invisible blades cutting through the morning air. The human's hands trembled as he pulled away from the window, his heart racing with every second. His alien roommate was still on the floor, chest glowing faintly, body shaking like it could collapse any moment. He wanted to believe it was just some accident, some strange alien illness. But the way his roommate had looked at him, the panic, the fear, told him this was something else, something far bigger than just two beings sharing an apartment. The alien's voice broke the silence. "They are here." The human's stomach twisted. "Who? Who's here?" The alien struggled to sit upright, its glowing veins pulsing like fire under glass. Its words came slowly, heavy with regret. "Hunters. The Empire's hunters. They tracked me." The human blinked, unable to understand. "Empire? What empire? You never said." The alien's hand slammed against the floor, cutting him off. "I could not tell you. If you knew, you would already be dead." Its voice shook, but its eyes burned with something fear. Yet the human staggered back. His mind spun. He thought of all those nights when his roommate stayed awake, staring at the sky as if expecting something to fall from it. He thought of the strange metal scars on the alien's arms, the way it never let him ask about its home. It all made sense now. The alien was running, hiding, and the hunters had finally caught up. Outside, the buzzing sound turned into a pulse. The windows rattled as if something heavy was descending. The human's breath caught. "Why here? Why me?" The alien's chest flared with light, then dimmed again. "Because I trusted you," it whispered. "Because Earth is not what they think." The human froze. "What does that mean?" The alien coughed, its glowing skin flickering, then spoke with sudden strength. "The Empire believes your world is weak, harmless. They think humans are animals playing with fire. They do not fear you. But I have seen what you are. I saw it the day I came here. That is why I stayed. That is why I risked everything." The human's heart thundered in his chest. His alien roommate wasn't just hiding. It was hiding here for a reason. And that reason now dragged both of them into something far greater than they could control. A sharp crack echoed through the air. The window shattered, glass flying inward. The human ducked, shielding his face. When he looked up, his blood ran cold. A machine hovered outside the broken frame. Sleek, dark, its body shimmered with unnatural light. Its single red eye glowed, scanning the room. It was not human technology. It was alive, built to hunt, built to kill. The alien's eyes widened in horror. "Drone," it hissed. The machine screeched, and a beam of light swept across the room, stopping when it locked onto the alien's glowing chest. The human's instincts screamed at him to run, but something inside pushed him forward instead. He grabbed the first thing he could, a broken piece of chair, and stood between the alien and the machine. The drone released a metallic sound, almost like laughter, and fired. A pulse of energy smashed into the wall, inches from his head, leaving it smoking and blackened. The human flinched but did not move away. He shouted, "Stay away from him!" though he knew the machine could not understand. The alien pushed itself up, groaning in pain, and held out its hand. Strange light sparked from its fingers, forming a small, unstable shield in front of them. The beam from the drone struck it and bent away, but the shield cracked instantly. The alien gasped. "I cannot hold it! You must fight!" The human stared, breathless. "Fight? With what?" The alien's eyes burned with desperation. "With what makes you human? They never understand it. They never prepare for it. That is why you survive." The human's grip on the broken chair tightened. His body shook, but his legs moved forward anyway. He swung at the drone as it swooped closer. The blow connected with a metallic clang, sparks flying, the machine stumbling backward in the air. For one moment, silence. Then the drone screeched louder, charging again. The human stood his ground, heart pounding, sweat dripping down his face. He was not a soldier, not trained for this, but something deep inside pushed him to keep going. His roommate needed him. Earth itself needed him. The alien, watching through pain-filled eyes, whispered to itself, "Yes, that is why they should fear you." The drone's red eye glowed brighter, gathering power for another strike. The human raised the chair again, ready to swing even if it killed him. But before the beam could fire, the alien unleashed a final burst of light, collapsing to the floor as energy ripped out of its chest. The blast hit the drone directly, sending it crashing into the wall in a storm of sparks. Smoke filled the room. The human coughed, waving his hand to see. The drone twitched on. The ground, its single red eye fading to black. But then, before dying, the drone let out one last signal, an eerie pulse of light that shot straight into the sky. The alien's face went pale. Its voice was broken but clear. "Now they know. The fleet is coming." The human stood frozen, the ruined chair still in his hands, staring at his fallen roommate. His life had changed in one morning, but he knew now it was only the beginning. The hunter arrives. Smoke still drifted in the air from the destroyed drone. The human coughed, waving his hand, but his eyes stayed locked on the alien lying weak on the floor. The machine was dead, its red eye cracked and fading, but its last signal had already been sent. The alien's voice came out heavy and broken. "That was only a scout. The hunter will follow." The human's chest tightened. "Hunter? What kind of hunter?" The alien turned its head toward the shattered window. Its glowing veins pulsed faintly, as if each beat cost it strength. Not a machine, not like that drone. A living warrior bred only for capture and death. Once it arrives, there is no escape. The words dug into the human's mind like knives. He could still hear the echo of the drone's signal in his ears. It had gone straight into the sky, straight to whatever ship was waiting above the planet. His gut told him the alien was right. Something worse was coming. The human swallowed hard, forcing his voice steady. "Then we fight again." The alien gave him a strange look, almost a smile through the pain. "That is what makes you dangerous. You do not know when to stop." The room trembled before the human could answer. A low hum rolled through the air, rattling the broken glass on the floor. Lights flickered. Then silence. For a heartbeat, the world seemed still. Then the apartment door exploded inward. A massive figure stepped through the smoke. Taller than any human, its armor shimmered like black stone mixed with liquid metal. Its helmet was shaped like the skull of some alien predator, and its long claws gleamed with cold silver light. In its hand was a weapon that looked part rifle, part blade, alive with pulsing energy. The human froze. His body screamed at him to run, but his feet refused to move. The alien beside him struggled to sit up, whispering a single word: "Hunter." The creature's head turned slowly, its glowing eyes fixing first on the alien, then on the human. A low growl echoed through its armor, not mechanical but alive. Hungry. It stepped closer, heavy boots cracking the floor. The human forced himself to move, grabbing a sharp piece of shattered metal from the ground. His heart pounded so hard it hurt, but he stood in front of his roommate again. The hunter tilted its head as if amused. Then it spoke, its voice like thunder wrapped in steel. "Weak prey, both of you." The human's grip tightened on the metal shard. His voice shook, but he answered anyway. "Try me." The hunter growled, and in a flash it moved, faster than anything he had ever seen. One moment it stood across the room, the next its clawed hand slashed through the air, missing his throat by inches. The human stumbled back, swinging wildly with the shard. Sparks flew as metal struck armor, but the hunter barely noticed. It backhanded him with a single strike, sending him crashing against the wall. Pain exploded across his body, but he forced himself up again, blood dripping from his lip. He would not stay down. The alien shouted, its weak body trembling as it lifted a hand. A burst of light shot out, striking the hunter's chest. The beast staggered half a step but laughed, the sound deep and cruel. "You cannot stop me! You belong to the Empire!" The human pushed himself off the wall, rage burning hotter than fear. He charged again, swinging the shard at the hunter's leg. This time it pierced through a joint in the armor. The hunter roared, shoving him back with bone-breaking force, but the wound bled dark silver liquid onto the floor. The alien's eyes widened. "You heard it. Humans can hurt it." The hunter snarled, now focused fully on the human. "Then you die first." It raised its weapon, energy charging at the tip. The human froze, certain this was the end. But before the blast could fire, the alien launched forward, throwing its glowing body between them. The weapon discharged, the room erupting in light. The alien screamed, collapsing from the force, but the human was still alive. Smoke filled the room again. The hunter stepped closer, growling. The alien lay broken on the floor, its chest light flickering like a dying flame. The human dropped beside his friend, gripping its arm. "Don't you dare leave me now," he whispered, voice shaking. The alien's eyes met his, weak but fierce. "You must survive. They do not understand you yet. That is your weapon. Your world is not what they believe." The hunter's shadow fell over them. Its claw reached down, ready to rip them apart. But outside, something new stirred. Sirens blared across the city. Human military drones swarmed the sky, drawn by the destruction. Jets roared overhead. For the first time, the hunter turned its head, not in fear, but in surprise. It had expected no resistance from this harmless planet. The human felt a strange spark of hope. He pulled himself to his feet, blood on his face, eyes locked on the towering alien warrior. "Welcome to Earth," he said, voice low and steady. The hunter's claws flexed. The fight was far from over, but for the first time it looked uncertain. The alliance tested. The hunter stood in the middle of the ruined apartment, its tall shadow cutting through the smoke, claws gleaming like blades ready to end everything. But the moment the distant roar of jets echoed overhead, its head turned, almost in disbelief. It had not expected this. Outside, the sky lit with human aircraft streaking across the dawn, leaving white trails against the burning horizon. Military drones buzzed through the air, their scanners locking onto the massive intruder inside the city. Sirens blared from the streets below. The hunter tilted its head, its sharp voice carrying both anger and amusement. "So, the animals bite back." The human, bleeding but standing tall, met its glowing eyes. "We're not animals, and we're not prey." The hunter growled low, stepping closer. But before it could strike, explosions rattled the building. Missiles streaked past the window, hitting something larger outside. The hunter snapped its head toward the sound, its claws tightening. The Empire's ship, hidden above, had been spotted. The human's chest rose and fell in ragged breaths. He glanced down at his alien roommate, who was still lying weakly on the floor, chest glowing faintly like a fading star. "We can't hold this forever," the human whispered. The alien's voice came out faint, but heavy with warning. "Listen to me. This hunter is not here to kill me, not at first. It was sent to capture me alive. That means—" The human's eyes narrowed. "That means you're important." The alien gave a weak smile. "More important than I ever wished to be." It coughed, its body flickering. "I was not just a soldier. I was their experiment. The Empire made me, tested me, then lost control. I escaped. And now, if they take me back, your planet will be next." The human froze. It all clicked together. The glowing veins, the way the alien avoided questions, the constant fear of being found. His roommate wasn't simply a runaway. It was living proof of the Empire's darkest weapon. The hunter's claws scraped against the wall, the sound echoing like knives on stone. "Time is over. Hand it to me, and I will spare your fragile world." 2. The human stepped forward, placing himself between the alien and the beast once again. "No. If they want him, they'll have to go through all of us." The hunter snarled, its glowing eyes narrowing. "Then Earth will burn." Before it could strike, the building shook violently. Outside, one of the Empire's smaller ships exploded in midair, streaks of fire raining down. Human jets circled like wolves, attacking again and again, refusing to back down. The hunter turned sharply toward the window, and for the first time its voice carried something close to doubt. "They should not be able to do this. Your world is primitive. This is wrong." The alien, coughing, forced itself upright, leaning against the human's shoulder. "That is what I tried to tell you," it whispered to the hunter. "Humans are not what you think. You judge them by their weapons. You should fear their will." The hunter roared in fury, spinning back toward them. It raised its weapon, energy gathering like fire in its claws. The human braced for impact, his body trembling but ready, yet at the same moment the alien pressed something small and metallic into his hand. "What is this?" the human asked, staring at the strange device. The alien's voice shook. "A signal breaker. I stole it from the Empire before I escaped. It can disrupt their control systems, but only once. Use it well." The human stared at the glowing button in his palm. A single choice, a single chance. The hunter lunged, its massive claws tearing through the air. The human slammed the button. The world erupted. A wave of energy burst from the device, invisible but powerful. The hunter staggered mid-strike, its armor flickering, the lights across its body sparking wildly. It roared in confusion, stumbling back as its weapon fizzled out. For the first time, the beast looked vulnerable. The human gripped the shard of metal he had used earlier. His body screamed with pain, but his voice was steady. "Not so strong now, are you?" The hunter roared and charged again. The human swung, driving the shard into the flickering chest armor. Sparks exploded. The creature howled, stumbling backward, crashing into the wall with enough force to shatter it. Outside, human forces fired again, missiles screaming through the air. The sky was chaos. Empire ships clashing with Earth's defenses. Civilians screamed in the streets. The world was no longer safe. The alien, weak but watching, whispered through blood and fire, "This is the moment. Your people and mine. The galaxy will never forget this day." The human pulled the shard free, standing over the fallen hunter. The beast still twitched, its glowing eyes dim but burning with hate. It growled low, "This is not the end. The fleet is coming." The alien's gaze met the human's, its expression both fearful and proud. Then Earth must decide, stand or fall. The human's grip tightened on the shard. His heart thundered. He looked out the shattered window at the burning sky. The decision had already been made. Earth would fight. What changed everything? The hunter's body twitched in the rubble, its armor cracked, its red eyes dim but still burning with hatred. Smoke curled from the wound the human had driven into its chest. Outside, the sky was chaos. Human jets streaked overhead, missiles tore through the clouds, and alien ships fell in burning trails of fire. But above it all, something darker moved. The human froze as the shadow spread across the city. He looked up through the broken window and saw it, a massive shape cutting through the sky, so large it blotted out the dawn. It was the Empire's fleet. Dozens of warships hung above the clouds, their hulls black and alive with pulsing red light. They were not here to capture anymore. They were here to crush. The alien's glowing chest flickered weakly as it leaned against the wall, its voice heavy with despair. "The fleet has come. Earth cannot stand against them." The human clenched his fists. His body ached, blood dripping down his arm, but his voice was steady. "Then watch us." The hunter on the floor laughed bitterly, its voice distorted through broken armor. "Your jets, your missiles, your courage, it is nothing. One strike from above, and your cities will turn to ash. This is the end." The human turned, glaring at the fallen creature. "You don't know us. None of you do." As if answering him, the sky itself came alive. From hidden bases across the Earth, weapons the galaxy had never seen before rose into the air. Stealth craft, railguns hidden in mountains, orbital cannons disguised as satellites. All of it came online. For years, humanity had been preparing quietly, never trusting the silence of the stars. The first shot came from orbit. A hidden human platform, cloaked in Earth's shadow, fired a beam of pure energy that sliced through one of the Empire's warships. The ship split apart like glass, erupting into flames as it fell into the ocean. The human's heart raced as he watched the impossible happen. His world, his people, were not bowing. They were fighting back with everything they had. The alien's eyes widened, its voice weak but trembling with awe. You hid this. Even I did not know. The human helped his roommate up, steadying its weak frame. We've always known the stars were dangerous. We just waited for the day they came. The hunter roared in fury, dragging itself to its feet despite its broken body. This is impossible. Your kind is primitive. How? Its words were cut short as another explosion ripped across the sky. More Empire ships fell, torn apart by weapons Earth should not have had. Human fleets rose from the seas, submarines unleashing missiles designed for more than terrestrial war. Satellites turned into weapons, their hidden power unleashed after decades of secrecy. For the first time in its existence, the hunter looked afraid. The alien, leaning on the human, whispered, "This is why they should have feared you, not because of your machines, not because of your strength, but because you never stop, you never kneel." The human's jaw tightened. He watched as Earth's weapons tore into the fleet, but he knew it was not enough. More Empire ships were pouring out of the void, blotting out the sky. Humanity's hidden weapons were powerful, but the numbers were overwhelming. The battle was not yet won. The alien squeezed his arm weakly. "I can give them something. A weakness. The Empire built me with their own code, their own blood. I can send a signal. I can break their chain of command." The human shook his head. "It will kill you." The alien's faint smile carried both pain and pride. "I was made as their weapon. Let me die as yours." Before the human could stop him, the alien pulled a shard of metal from its own chest, glowing with unstable energy. It pressed its hands against the ground, its body flaring like a star. A pulse surged outward, racing into the sky. Above, the Empire fleet staggered. Their ships flickered, some turning against each other, others collapsing into fire as their systems failed. The balance shifted in an instant. Humanity's weapons struck harder, and this time the Empire could not respond. The human dropped beside his friend as its light dimmed. "Stay with me, please." The alien's breathing slowed, its voice soft. "Do not mourn. This was the only ending I deserved. But remember this, human. You are not weak. You are not prey. You are the storm they never saw coming." Its eyes closed, the glow fading. Silence fell between them. Outside, the last of the Empire's ships broke apart, falling from the sky. The world shook with victory. Humanity had stood, humanity had bled, and humanity had won. The hunter, broken and defeated, stared at the human with its fading eye. "What are you?" The human's voice was steady, almost a whisper, but it carried like thunder. "We're Earth. Remember that." The hunter collapsed, its light gone. The human looked out at the dawn. Smoke and fire still filled the sky, but the sun was rising again. And now the galaxy would never forget the truth. Humanity was not harmless. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was the force that would change everything.